Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut. Joining me today is Debashish Sen from Guwahati, Bharat Ramraj, and Rohit Juglan. So much to talk about today. It's a busy day for cricket. Ashes, build up to India versus South Africa second test match, a full circle moment for Rishabh Pant. What is the pitch looking like? And of course, Kagiso Rabada also ruled out from the second test match. So there's a lot to cover here. First, I'll go to Debashish. Debashish, you sent us pictures of match day -1, what the pitch is looking like. Tell us from the conversations that you've had on field, what is the pitch? What are you expecting the pitch to play out like?
Can you repeat, Gargi? I couldn't hear you properly.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you
I just leave and rejoin. I just leave and rejoin. Just give me 1 second.
Shomik, I hope you can hear me. Shomik Chakrabarti has also joined us, not from Mumbai, but from Guwahati. I'll change your headline. But Shomik, can you hear me? You're on mute.
Yeah, I can hear you, Gargi. Negotiating a spate of mosquitoes. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
it is more dangerous than the Eden Garden. Yeah, it is more dangerous than the Eden Garden snake pit.
that's. Well, begin with to begin with, Shomik, I really wanted to ask you. Of course, the biggest chatter has been around the pitch. Match day -1. What's the pitch looking like? Have you had any conversations with the curators or local staff? What are they saying? What do you expect the pitch to play out like?
It's a good pitch. By the look of it, it appears pretty decent, Gargi. I mean, they have left a bit of grass to bind the topsoil. And as Rishabh Pant also said at the press conference that he expects this pitch to be better to bat on, and the spinners will come into play later in the game, maybe from day three onwards. It will not be a raging turner, unlike Eden Gardens. It is not going to be a raging turner from day one, and we can expect. I mean, in all likelihood, it's not going to be a three-day finish here.
Shomik, it's still a little bit weird to hear the two words "Raging Turner" and "Eden Gardens" in the same sentence. But that's what we saw. Life is long,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
you get.
Unfortunately, see that once no, no, Gargi. Unfortunately, the fact of the matter is that Shujonda was never going to prepare that kind of a pitch, and Gautam Gambhir he fronted up and he accepted and he admitted that that was exactly what the Indian team management wanted. So it was like that. They stopped watering until yesterday. Even today, this morning, this pitch was watered. So you can expect it is not going to crumble very soon. And although still not the onset of winter in this part of the world, it is a bit nippy in the evening, around 18 degrees. But the mornings are pretty hot. But although it is pretty hot, it is the sun. It's not a scorching sun. So from that point of view, I don't expect the topsoil to disintegrate fast.
to dry out very fast. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, yeah,
Devashish, what
yeah.
is your assessment of the pitch? You've been sending us these lovely photographs. Tell us, have you had any conversations with the local staff? Are you also expecting it to be a sort of a conventional pitch where it starts, spinning from day three, first 2 days for the pacers and the seamers?
Yeah, to start with, Gargi, the wicket has a tinge of green. There is a bit of grass, means obviously, but I assume that those are only 5 mm, not more than that. Means that there's a tinge of green by the look of it. Yesterday, today also in the morning when I came, I arrived around 8:30 a.m. and I saw it was similar. It was similar, yes, and the Indian team management. It has always been the case that it has always the talks have been always around how the wicket will be. Today also we could see Gautam Gambhir, Sitanshu Kotak, Moni Morkel, Ryan Tendaskate having a long chat with the local curators. Tapo strategy was there. Ashish Bhomik and Tapo strategy both were there. Um, uh, so I think, but what Shomik does say, I would also like to reiterate the point that this wicket will stay on, given that there is a bit of grass which will bind the soil. So yes, it will start turning. from day three onwards. Yes, there you see the pictures that those are being clicked in the morning today. Both the curators, left hand side, you could see Ashish Bhumik, and towards the right of Gautam Gambhir is Tapo's strategy. And in fact, the Indian coach could be seen asking, means they're taking their opinion as to how the wicket will be, because since this is the first test match that is happening here. But what concerns me more is that the real challenge will be the half an hour early start, given that the match will start at 9 a.m. compared to what it is in other venues, which is where normally the test matches starts at 9:30 a.m. So that half an hour early start might just be in. There will be a bit of juice in the air, as well as that there will be moisture on the wicket. So obviously, if the team batting first will have to face the challenge of the fast bowlers from the opponent side. Gargi.
Boria Majumdar joins us, but from the other side of the screen. He's saying, I'm watching the team do the show. These days have the luxury of not doing a show, not doing a day. Well, glad you have some downtime, Boria. But, it's always lovely to have him in the show. But going forward with this conversation, uh, Rohit, full circle moment for Rishabh Pant if we really think about it. ODI debut Guwahati and now captaincy debut Guwahati as well. I think in the press conference he said that this was a special place for him. But what are you expecting out of Rishabh Pant? A lot is riding on his shoulders at the moment.
Obviously, it's good, to be in that very particular ground where you years ago got your debut cap. It gives you a little bit of confidence, rather than anything else. It gives you a positive kind of vibe if you relate it with the history, that whatever history he has with any kind of ground. And he is someone I covered a lot of matches of Rishabh Pant, and he used to feel the atmosphere, the surroundings. It wasn't like that, that he's coming out from the dressing room and he's all geared up. He soak in the atmosphere. He have some those fun banters with the teammates, play that football kind of stuff, or football-y kind of stuff, and then carry forward for his daily activities like the batting part and the wicket keeping drills. So I think a happy memory, but lot of things to look forward to. Firstly, as we all know, India trailing 0-1, and then to have someone in place of Shubman Gill, because now this is official. And we at Rev Sports, we did it from the very first day. We were very sure. I remember doing the video about this, that first we break this, that Shubman Gill is in the hospital, and then after few hours we did the video that it's almost big, because there's never a term used in cricket called impossible, but we knew at the very moment that it gonna be very difficult, having multiple calls with Buryada, and he was also very sure about this, that if you are getting this, then you can go ahead with this, that Shubman Gill won't be able to participate. And you also did it in the English video, Gargi, that and on from that day to now, the question always remains the same, that who will be at number 4. Yes, you can promote a Dhruv Jurel, you can give any other player a chance, but I think the most important thing is that is you are you very much sure about the alternates, and is there anyone who can play spin that well? That gonna be a very difficult question. And I'm not talking about only the number 4 position. I'm also telling about that, the other battles also in this batting lineup. There will be challenges in front of them, Gargi, also.
Absolutely. And if you talk about the breaking news, especially when it comes to Shubman Gill, I know that multiple times there were counter reports, multiple times, there were people raising questions saying that we were being sensationalist or rather spreading fake news or things like that. But from the very beginning, our sources were very, very strong. And we put out those news reports with the utmost confidence that this was not, we it's never our point to mislead our audience. So we had very strong sources, which is why we always went through with those news breaks about Shubman Gill and his injury, and every single time it's played out exactly as we said it did. Debashish, no, but before I go to Debashish, Bharat, this wicket, we're seeing a lovely green tinge out there on the wicket, and from what we're hearing from Debashish and Shomik, that for the first 2 days, it's going to be a good deck for the fast bowlers. But for South Africa, another big blow. Kagiso Rabada ruled out. He wasn't there in the first match either. But Gautam Ghosh really made a difference first with the bat as well, and of course with the ball as he was expected to. How do you think this affects South Africa's uh, chances in the game?
Yeah, in relation to Kagiso Rabada missing out. Yeah, see, first of all, I think South Africa we have fast bowlers. If there's a little bit of help for the faster bowlers, they still have enough in the tank. They still have Marco Jensen. They still have Corbin Ghosh. I think these two are pretty good bowlers. So if the ball is nibbling around, and for some reason, obviously, they don't select Nandre Burger in their 15, maybe because he's returning from an injury. Actually, I would have picked him as an injury cover instead of Lungi Ngidi at this stage of his career. Not sure Ngidi is at the level that he used to be, but still, it's a pretty good pace attack. I don't do a lot of the seam on day one either, but I expect the groundsman to leave a tinge of grass, if not for offering sea movement, at least to hold the pitch together. I think that will ensure that the pitch will not turn too much, or there won't be too much of variable bounce if you leave just enough dry grass. So that is what I expect from the groundsman.
Okay, Shomik and Devashish are back. Shomik and Devashish, you interviewed Devajit Saikia. I really, really want to know your takeaways from the interview. Devashish, you start first, and of course, Shomik can then chip in with his highlights of the interview.
Yeah, obviously it's a huge occasion for Assam Cricket Association, especially to have a test match in this part of the country. Yes, and to make the occasion momentous, the Assam Cricket Association is leaving no stone unturned. Because obviously there will be a special coin with which the toss will be held. There will be national anthem. In fact, during the middle of a series, you don't see a national anthem being played, but since it is the first time a test match is being played, there will be a national anthem for both the teams. Obviously, there are a few other programs that the ticket sales have been very good. Yeah, we have been told by Mr. Saikia that yes, on Sunday it will be a full house, and ticket prices are also very low compared to what it was at Eden Gardens. Eden Gardens, the minimum ticket price was rupees 60. Here it is even less at rupees 50. So you will see more number of people coming in. During the Women's World Cup, a large turnout for cheering for Harmanpreet Kaur and her team. So I think the first couple of days it will be electrifying. Means obviously it's a huge occasion for the people here in Assam, in Guwahati rather. So and as I said that it will be a momentous occasion for the state association.
Absolutely. Shomik, your takeaways from the Devajit Saikia interview?
Gargi, there are several takeaways. First of all, what Mr. Saikia told us that the BCCI will back Gautam Gambhir and his coaching staff to the hilt. Uh, BCCI is looking at BCCI is not considering about the 3-0 whitewash against New Zealand last year because that was in the previous WTC cycle, but this time it's a new WTC cycle, and BCCI is looking at this 30-run loss as a very narrow loss, as a one-off. They are confident that under this coaching shed setup, the team will bounce back in Guwahati itself. And they are very pleased with Shubman Gill, the way he has seamlessly stepped into the big shoes and he has taken charge of the Indian team and he has lived up to the expectations. That is one takeaway. Number two is that women's cricket, the way women's cricket has prospered, and a lot of credit goes to Mr. Jay Shah, who was when he was the BCCI secretary, the support he provided to women's cricket infrastructure and everything, equal pay, equal match fee for contracted men and women cricketers, everything. So the progress of women's cricket, that is something to take heart. I mean, BCCI is taking a lot of heart from the fact that um, it could be they think that this World Cup win would be a game-changing moment for women's cricket, and it will woo the corporates. Number two, Number three is that Asia Cup thing, Asia Cup trophy thing. Back channel negotiations are on, and as Mr. Saikia said, BCCI is hopeful that sooner rather than later, it will there would be a conclusion to the whole drama, and BCCI in the Indian team will get its trophy, something that they deserve. These are the three main takeaways from Mr. Saikia's interview, and also it's a momentous occasion. And also, Guwahati would be hosting the first test. Credit a lot of credit as it is all according to Mr. Saikia goes to Mr. Jaisha, because the process or the effort started in 2019 when Mr. Jaisha was the BCCI secretary, and he backed this endeavor, and eventually it has come to fruition. So it's a momentous occasion for Guwahati for the entire northeast, because if you look at the northeast, this is for the first time, and people here love their cricket. So everything taken into account, there are several news points and several takeaways from Mr. Saikia's interview, and we are very happy that it has gone very popular.
Glad to know that, Shomik. It was a good interview by you both, and it still makes me laugh that the Asia Cup trophy is still locked up in the ACC office. Because really, when have we ever seen my journey in the journalistic fraternity is still pretty new. Only 3.5, 4 years working this job, but Shomik and Devashish, Rohit as well, Bharat as well. You guys have been doing this for so long. I'm sure you also have not seen a trophy just disappear from the ground and
I am
not
also
finding
not
its
doing
way
it for
to.
so long, Gargi. Come on. I am also not
Huh?
doing it for so long. Please don't
That's
put my
I
okay
name
only.
in the same breath with Shamik and Devashish Da. They're doing it from last 20 years,
30 years.
30 years. Devashish, Devashish Da 30 years or 20 years?
Pardon?
कितने सालों से,
30
how
or
long have
20?
you been in
I,
this
I
industry?
since 2005,
So
exactly
that's
2005.
20 years.
My first overseas trip was to Pakistan.
Oh,
My first
really?
overseas trip was to Pakistan in 2006 when Greg Chappell was the coach. So I was there in
And
for 2.5 months.
yeah, yeah, and Gargi, I was talking to Mr. Saikia yesterday, and I was
Yes.
talking. I was telling him my experience of coming in this part of the world to cover matches the first time around. When I came, New Zealand's captain was Lee Jarman, and in fact, at Borshapara Cricket Stadium, this is my first assignment at Borshapara Cricket Stadium. All my previous assignments were at the old Nehru Stadium, and so many events. Crowd travel during an India England game, India Pakistan game, so many memories. That was at the heart of the city. It is a bit off the city center, but facilities are good. At this stadium, the facilities
Absolutely.
are good, and and the ground has a very pretty good dimension. It is not a small ground. It has the dimension of the ground, and also the way they are maintaining the outfield and they are tending to pitches. It is pretty. The ground and the stadium is pretty well maintained.
So someone, someone in the comment section is saying that Devashish Da has been doing it since Mughal Azam released. Okay. Um, but
So
Bharat,
shall we give an ode to him and say ba adab ba mulaida hoshiar?
wow, see the Urdu videos have started already.
Yeah, yeah, we have to. He is a bit reluctant. He is a bit reluctant to start the Urdu video, but I think it will go. I mean, it will skyrocket in terms of popularity. It will skyrocket if me and Devashish start Urdu conversations.
Absolutely. Bharat, I'll come to you now.
But
Let's digress
but
from yes, Devashish.
I have to admit one thing. You, Rohit, Shubayan,
Huh.
Shomikda, I mean, the kind of workload means doing videos, writing copies, sending tremendous. Means I have been telling Shomikda how many videos. for the day.
I know, I know.
But thoroughly enjoying Somikda being so senior, but thoroughly enjoying his encouragement. He's always there by the side of you, always encouraging. Um, um, uh, but uh, obviously, I shouldn't be fall into the trap of doing an Urdu video. That is for sure.
Oh wow. I love how slyly he went into rejecting your offer, Shomik. But Bharat, I'll
Yeah,
go to you now. Digressing from the Urdu conversation a little bit and Guwahati, let's talk about the Ashes. I don't know how much time Shomik and Devashish got to watch a few overs or.
I was
Uh, oh, lovely, lovely. 19
he wakes
overs.
up at 5 a.m. Gargi, he wakes up at 5 a.m. His day starts at 5 a.m. So, and by 7, he is ready. He is off to go. And the energy he oozes, this is contagious.
Lovely. But Bharat, 19 wickets in one day, the Perth wicket that we saw. If something similar happened, let's say in Guwahati tomorrow, what will people have to say on social media? Because today it was a great display of bowling, but when it happened back in India, it's what double standards, what hypocrisy is this?
Yeah, that is true, but I have to put a counter to it because I don't think this particular pitch was so bad that you lose out on 19 wickets. So I think there was some bad batting as well. Yes, I understand it was conditions were tricky, but still, I thought the last
There was
year's
bad
pitch.
batting in the last game as well.
Yeah, just wait. There was a lot more variable bounce in this on this pitch. I don't think there was that kind of variable bounce. There was more like even bounce. What I would argue is the India Australia pitch from last year 2024-25. The first innings on day one, I think it did more than the track that we saw this year at Perth. So if you are going to bring up that Perth track from 2024-25, then I will definitely agree on day one. But for some reason, the pitch flattened out later on, and it became better for batting with India scoring a lot of runs, and then they went on to win that match. But I thought today it was also about some really bad batting from England, and then from Australia getting out to Delries that could have been easily avoided. For example, Alex Carey right down in the order, he tried to smash it. Delry that was it's a trap was clearly set there, and he still tried to play that particular stroke, ram stroke, and got out. So there was some bad batting as well, but I think the conditions were quite tricky. But I don't think it was a treacherous pitch on day one.
Devashi, there's a lovely question here by Weber. He's saying, words on 25-year-old youngster, Stark bowling. He was bowling like a 25-year-old, let's be honest. It's a tongue-in-cheek
can
comment.
can, can you get back to
It Weber is saying, words on. Okay, we've lost Devashi. Shomik, why don't you take this one?
Gargi, can you please come again with the question?
Yes, so Weber here has commented, words on 25-year-old youngster, Stark bowling.
Stark has been a legend. He got a 7 for. I couldn't manage because I came to the stadium at 9 o'clock, and India were supposed to turn up at 9 o'clock for their match practice session on the match eve, and but they came late around 10 o'clock, and from there then Shubman Gill, that also we broke that he's on his way to Bombay, where he will consult Dr. Dinsha Pardiwala. So that news we also broke 3 hours before BCCI came up with an official release. So this Shubman Gill story is ours. We broke it. We did the follow up. So I could hardly get a chance, and then writing. I wrote the copies and did other videos, attended press conferences. So I didn't get a chance to watch the Ashes. But when England were all out for 170 odd, right? I the first thing I did, I checked the run rate, and it was 5.24. So that was okay. Uh, Even if we got bundled out for 170, we scored at more than 5 runs or over. So baseball prevails. But I didn't expect Australia I didn't know how well England bowled, but I didn't expect Australia to have this kind of a batting implosion. I expected Australia to bat better.
Neither did I. Seriously, neither did I. I was quite. One second, I'm trying to get Debashish in. I was quite surprised at the way that Australia also crumbled. But okay, let's take some more question. Pankaj Agarwal is saying if it happens on a good pitch, it's not a problem. The Kolkata pitch was underprepared. That was the problem. All right, point taken. I'm taking some more questions before we close the show in the next 5 minutes. Uh, Devashish, you take this one. There are a lot of questions asking about the light in Guwahati. Of course, we know by 5 it starts getting pretty dark. And will the game
Yes,
continue till 4 p.m.?
not five. Gargi, by 4:30. By 4:30,
Oh,
you could see the floodlights. You could see the floodlights by 4:30. I think the floodlights will be on by 4 p.m. The close-up play is 4 p.m. But obviously it gets pretty dark. It gets pretty dark. So I think here obviously on one side we would say that it's a momentous occasion to have a test match in this part, but at the same time we saw what happened in Kolkata. Well, we had over 70-75 overs on both days, if I'm not wrong, the day one and day two. So we saw so many overs being lost. It might well be the case here as well. So because half an hour early start, I don't think much of it will make up. I think it suddenly falls. The light suddenly falls. So I think it will be challenging. It will be challenging, especially early on. I don't know. I don't know. But hopefully we go on to see a 5 day match.
Uh,
I
Gargi,
hope
just
so.
But
one thing.
let me ask. I would just like to put forward a question to Shomikda. Is it kind of a right thing to have a test match means where you won't get 9 overs of
Uh, um, we lost Devashish, but Gargi, for our viewers, I just want to reiterate something. It's a 9 a.m. start. After the
Yeah.
first 2 hour, after the first 2 hours, tea would be taken. From 11 to 11:20 is the tea, and after that, from 11:20 to 1:20 would be the next second session, and after that, lunch would be taken. 1:20 to 2 p.m. is the lunch on hours, and from 2 to 4 p.m. the match. It's the land of early sunrise and early sunset. So from that point of view, but what do? Just because the sundown is early, you don't give a test match to Guwahati. That's not fair. They're making adjustments. They're starting at 9. A bit taxing for us because from 9:30 to 9 o'clock. But for the fans, they are, they have taken a pragmatic call to start the match at 9 a.m. And I hope they can bowl, if even if they don't bowl 90 overs. I think at least 80 overs per day we can expect.
Okay, that will be nice to have. All I'm hoping is I get to see some good quality 5 day test cricket. Is all I want. Is all I want. I'll give the final question to Bharat now from the comment section because clearly the mosquitoes are bothering the hell out of Shomik at this moment. Debashish is going in and out with his internet connection, and we seem to have lost Rohit Juglan as well. Debashish, I'll give the final question to Bharat and then close the show. Okay. Shongvi Datta Bishwas is saying, I'll combine two questions for you, Bharat. Songbeat is saying, let's just accept the fact that the standard of test cricket batting worldwide has gone down drastically from 2015 to 16, apart from one or two exceptions like Smith. And the other one that I'm adding to this is Shubham Dalmia saying Archer and Wood bowling over 150. Atkinson was around 143 and Carson Stokes were bowling around 138. Five quality seamers absolutely spot on today, unplayable to be honest. And I think Bharat, I think the average speed of the English bowlers was way more than the Australian pacers.
Yeah, I think I've said it on live show many times that don't go by how England bowled on those flat pitches against India because those conditions were quite flat, not suited to the tall fast bowlers. They don't have the experience to use the crease, to use the angles. But it's not just about pace; it's also about the bounce that they get. See, Jofra Archer He may not be 6'5", he's about 6'1", but he stands very tall at the crease and has that flick of the wrist. So he gets that bounce, and someone like Bryden Cars, the ball that he bowled to Kawaja, it really bounced, reared up from short of a length, short ball, and took his glove. Same thing happened with Steve Smith. So they were getting a lot more bounce than the Australian seamers. Obviously, Australia don't have two of their hit the deck fast bowlers in Pat Cummins and Joe Sazalute. That really went against them. So it was not just about pace; they have the bounce for this condition. So if Australia are going to prepare tracks with pace and bounce, then definitely England can hit back. Yes, the batting in terms of class in Test cricket, I think it has gone down in terms of batting side of things over the last some years. I think that is mainly because nowadays, even if you look at academies, sometimes I watch kids playing in academies, and I see that they're always trying to clear the front leg, trying to hit a six. So that is the main point that young kids look at. So that somewhere because of that, I think technique also it has affected batters' technique. They're playing a lot of T20 matches. Yes, it's gone down, but I'm not very sure it's gone down so much. Now, I thought the bowling today, some of the bowling today was really good. But having said that, I have to add that some of the batting as well on display was very average. I grew up in an era when they had Slater, Hayden, Marquardt, Damon Martin, or someone like Ricky Ponting. All those batters used to come hard at the upper end. Nowadays, if you look at Australia's top order, they just try to stone wall. I think yes, the quality of batting has gone down to some extent.
Gargi, before we sign off, some quick team updates. India had an optional practice session today, and just three players turned up: KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and Sai Sudarshan, which is likely to be India's top three tomorrow. Sai Sudarshan is coming in for Shubman Gill, and very likely he will bat at number three because Washington Sundar at number three in Calcutta was a makeshift arrangement out of his. I mean, in 15 of his of the 16 tests Washington has played so far, he batted down the order. So it was a makeshift arrangement, and unlike Shitangshu Kotak, who sort of didn't agree with the fact that India have a left-handers overload problem in the batting order in their batting lineup. Rishabh Pant at the press conference today said that we know we have a lot of left-handers and we have taken that into consideration that we have a lot of left-handers in our batting order. So from that point of view, the likely combination could be Dhruv Jurel. Once again, India will make do, very likely will make do with Dhruv Jurel at number four. And given the conditions, overhead conditions also, here uh, for the first 2 hours at least every day, irrespective of the nature of the pitch, the seamers will get some assistance. If you talk to Krishna Das, an Assam seamer, and he used to get back full of wickets in Guwahati with the early morning nip or the early morning moisture. So having that extra seamer, although Nitish Kumar Reddy bowls dibbly doubly medium pace, but someone who is bowling seam up in these conditions could be helpful. And also, four spinners on this pitch is one too many. So taking that into account, if Nitish Kumar Reddy comes, India will have another right-hander down the order also. As regards South Africa, there is every chance and very in all likelihood, Lungi and Giddy is going to replace Corbin Bosch. Um, um, Temba Babuma at the pre-match press conference dropped enough hint that it could be the case. He said he's firmly in the scheme of things, Lungi and Gedi, although he's a late addition to the squad. But it is we have. I mean, he has come via the agreement of everybody, and he has also said that Corbin Bosch is a young seamer, and it's not fair to expect so much so early from a young seamer. So everything points to the fact that South Africa might make a change with Lungi and Gedi coming in for Corbin Bosch, and India might have. We are not commenting. Sai Sudarshan is playing for sure, and Nitish Kumar Reddy might, and might is the operative word. Nitish Kumar Reddy might replace Akshar Patel.
All right. On that note, thank you so much, Shomik, for the insightful, lowdown of everything that happened today. Thank you, Debashish, for joining. Rohit and Bharat as well. We'll be back very soon. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., we go live. Debashish and Shomik will join us from outside of the Barsapara Stadium. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think I
Yeah,
said that right.
absolutely spot on.
Barsapara. Poda.
Borshapada. Borshapada.
Barsapara. Got it.
Brilliant.
Some
I told you, Gargi, we are Bengali. We are Bengalis by descent, and you are a Bengali by scent.
naturalization. All right. We'll be back very soon. Don't forget to join us tomorrow morning ahead of the match. And of course, Ashes action coming your way as well. We'll be there every